Chapter 94, The Hidden Message, Legends of the Frozen Game Book 2, Act 4, Date 3380 2nd Quarter. Chalice Theocracy. The air in the library was still dust motes, drifting like ghosts between the shelves. Afternoon light filtered through stained glass windows, painting the floor in patches of red and gold. Lyra stood at her usual desk head, bent over a ledger, moving with mechanical grace. Each movement precise, measured, perfect. Too silent. Aris watched her from behind a bookshelf, heart pounding. Fox crouched at his feet, tail flicking uneasily.
She doesn't remember anything. Her voice, her habits, it's all changed. But the spark in her eyes is gone, like someone copied her and forgot to add the soul.
Fox whispered. Aris nodded grimly.
Wiped clean, a living blank slate.
He wanted to walk up to her to shout her name until something cracked in her eyes, until recognition sparked. But Lyra only smiled politely when passing students, the kind of smile given to strangers in a market. Pleasant, empty, safe. And when she asked, her tone was neither cruel nor kind, just neutral.
Can I help you, students?
They left soon after, heading down the dim side corridor that led toward the archives. Aris's thoughts churned like storm clouds. Who could do this? A crusader? The high priestess herself? They were returning to the dorm when something gnawed at Aris's mind.
There must be something she left behind.
Fox's ears twitched.
It's not like we can ask her.
I wonder where her relic is. If Kurgadon or any other officials saw it, they wouldn't have let her go, right?
I don't think so.
So she must have hidden it. But how can you hide something after you clean your memory?
As they walked toward the dorm, their brains were working overtime pieces, trying to fit together. When they were about to enter their room, Ulrich called out.
Back so soon? No making potions until night?
Aris, startled.
So sorry, Ulrich. Didn't notice you there. Yeah, I'm not in the mood now.
Ulrich leaned against the doorframe, concern in his wolfish features.
What's the deal with that librarian woman? Her attire completely changed. That snarky know-it-all woman is all gone ever since she came back.
That's what we're wondering.
Ulrich shuddered, his whole body rippling.
I mean, I'm not saying Chalice is bad, but that interrogation technique must be awful. Cutting hair, making them lose their personality. Imagine being a criminal against Chalice. Ugh.
He shook his wolf furry body.
I'm just glad we are on the right side.
Aris said hollowly.
Yeah, right side. But...
Date 338 2nd Quarter. Safe hollow Iron Confederacy border. The air in the council hall was thick with tension. Only a handful of torches burned their light, catching on the rough wooden beams above. Shadows danced across worried faces. That night, under the wooden palisade, lights Roderick gathered the council. Demir, Thalia, Marvin, and Mathis stood around a rough table. A map of the region lay spread before them, marked with charcoal notes. X's where scouts had been spotted. Circles where tracks had been found.
One scout escaped. That means they know. They'll report, regroup, and return, and not just 3 this time.
Roderick said, voice heavy. His bandages were fresher, now wrapped tight around his chest. Thalia looked grim.
How long do we have?
A week? Maybe 2, depending on where their camp is. How far they have to travel.
Demir clenched his fists on the table.
Then we use those days well. Reinforce the walls. Arm everyone who can stand. Train the rest to fight or flee.
Roderick nodded slowly.
Flee where? We can't pass through high-level zones. Not now with kids, with elderly.
Mathis frowned.
Is this for revenge? Because of our expeditions?
Demir shook his head.
Not revenge. They'll come for slaves. Bodies to work their minds.
A long silence fell over the room. Even the forge's distant crackle seemed to fade. The weight of coming violence pressed down on them all. Finally, Roderick pushed himself up from his chair, pain etched in his expression but resolve in his eyes.
Then they'll find out Safe Hollow isn't a mine to plunder. It's a fortress.
By midday, the council had summoned the entire settlement. Over 200 survivors gathered in the open square. Farmers, hunters, crafters, and wanderers from the goblin mines. All looking up at their leaders with fear and hope mixed in equal measure. Thalia's voice carried over the noise.
You've all heard the rumors. They're true. Goblins are coming, not scouts, not raiders, but an army, maybe a week, maybe 2.
Gasps and curses rippled through the crowd like wind through wheat. Roderick stepped forward, leaning on his cane.
We can't run, we can't hide, but we can fight. Every hand matters, whether you swing a sword or cook for those who do.
Demir stepped beside them, holding his shield high so the people could see the gleam of wyvern scales across its surface. The metal caught sunlight, scattering it in rainbow patterns.
I'll be reforging weapons and armor for anyone willing to stand. Bring me scrap. Bring me metal, even rusted tools. I'll make something that'll hold the line.
He looked across the faces. People he'd fought for, bled for, crafted for. People he'd come to call friends.
We may not have titles like generals or kings, but we have one thing that goblins never will, each other. If we hold together, they won't break us.
A cheer rose. Hesitant at first, then louder. People began moving with purpose, voices overlapping with renewed determination. As the meeting dissolved into organized chaos, Demir returned to the forge. The coals were cold, the air still. He sat on the stool staring at the anvil. His anvil. Until the sounds of the settlement faded to a hum. The forge would have to wait for improvements. He needed armor now. He began gathering whatever he could. Shattered blades, broken hinges, bent tools. Every scrap of iron and steel went into the crucible. The molten metal hissed and smoked sparks bursting like tiny stars in the dim light. Each spark carried a prayer. Demir's shirt clung to his skin with sweat. His arms burned, muscles screaming. Each hammer strike echoed against the stone walls like heartbeats. Piece by piece, he shaped the plates for himself, a new set. Greaves' cuirass gauntlets, Pauldron's helm. 5 full pieces hammered and fitted for his frame. He'd made hundreds of armors before, but never like this. Each strike carried something deeper: fear, hope, determination. Outside, the night wind carried the distant echo of a howl. Asina's voice wild and fierce, cutting through the darkness. Demir smiled faintly.
I hear you. I'll be ready.
Back at Chalice Theocracy, night had fallen completely when Aris and Fox finally returned to their investigation. The conversation with Auric had given Aris time to think, to piece together possibilities.
There must be something. She wouldn't just erase everything without leaving a backup. That's not like her.
Aris muttered, lying on his bed. Fox yawned.
Even if she did, how would we find it? The library? Her chambers?
Maybe. Aris sat up suddenly.
She knew they'd search her room, her desk, so where would she hide something they wouldn't think to look?
Somewhere they'd never suspect, Fox said slowly.
Somewhere. Ordinary.
Aris's eyes widened.
The library itself, not the forbidden section, not the hidden chambers, somewhere in plain sight.
But where?
Aris thought back to all the times he'd seen Lyra working. Where she went, what she touched. Then it hit him.
The ladder. She installed it herself, remember? She was always complaining about how the academy wouldn't fix things properly.
Fox's tail straightened.
You think she hid something in the ladder?
Only one way to find out.
They would have to wait until midnight. Until the library was truly empty. Until they could search without eyes watching. But for now they had a lead. And that was more than they'd had in days. Chapter 95. The Key. Legends of the Frozen Game Book 2. Act 4. Date 3380. Second quarter. Chalice Theocracy.
Dismissed. Go to your duels.
Rathvos's barking woke Aris from his thoughts. He came to his senses, scattered thoughts about how to bring back Lyra dissolving. Students were leaving the class, their conversations a dull roar. Aris, because of the injury, had missed his last 5 matches. All that grinding wasted. He was now ranked 44. The number burned in his mind.
Aris, stay. I wanted to talk to you.
Aris looked at Fox waiting to enter the class. He waved him off to wait. He approached his foul-tempered teacher boots scuffing on stone.
How was your arm?
It healed properly. These nanites, Kira's magical healing is superb.
Aris said in a laughing way, trying to lighten the mood. Rathvos frowned for a second and continued.
It's good you're cheerful. But with latest misses, you're what, 45th?
44th.
Doesn't matter. Top 30 seems hard. Start the search.
Aris gulped, thinking about the search for Lyra's memories.
What search?
Teen, you idiot. Some already formed their party. If you didn't burn bridges with everyone, I maybe could have convinced Kalen to take you into his party.
Aris was surprised. His hard-ass crazy Templar teacher actually caring enough for Aris to form a strong party to survive. The concern was genuine.
Thanks for your concern, sir, but I'm still aiming for top 30. And if not, I think Auric would take me into his party.
That's less than ideal, but it's good you have a backup plan. Also plan a team if you make it into top 30. You'll probably have to pick last, but it is what it is.
I didn't understand. What do you mean last?
First pick will be rank 1. If you make it to top 30, probably by the time you pick top 50 will be taken. When your pick comes back around again, you'll have to pick from rank above 85, whoever's left.
Then entering top 30 isn't the best.
Aris asked, confusion clear.
Your choice. But those who pull through with their low-ranked teams are regarded highly, more than those who calculate and strategically stay out of top 30.
I don't want to strategize. I want to show my power, test my limits.
Your choice. Just make sure to arrange backup plans.
Understood. Thanks, sir.
When Aris turned to leave, Rathvoss spoke again.
Hey, Aris, you're a bookworm. Were you close to the librarian, the one interrogated?
Aris gulped. Here comes another probing for information. His heart hammered.
Other than book recommendations, not so much. Why?
Rathvoss's expression shifted, something almost human breaking through.
It's just that I witnessed some of Kurgodan's, works, and he is a bit extreme. Don't get me wrong, I'm not questioning your loyalty to Chalice, but she might be shaken. Help her all right, even if she is Fae.
He said the shocking things and forced a smile.
Once again, thanks, sir.
Aris left the class. Fox joined him in the corridor, padding silently beside him.
What did he say?
Just form a good party and help Lyra.
What?
Yeah, it surprised me too. Anyway, let's head to duels.
That day, Aris had 3 duels. He won 2 solid victories using his combination techniques, and lost to a Fae boy with a frozen spear that moved like liquid ice. The cold burned where it touched. After duels, Aris used his healing spells to patch up his wounds. Healing light flowed from his palms, knitting bruises and cuts.
I could have won that last match, but drinking too many potions wore off by the last game.
You should use them strategically.
The Fox advised. Auric approached when his matches finished, tail wagging slightly.
I'm stuck at 8.
At least you're 8. I'm stuck in the 40s now.
I'm sure he can make it up in remaining matches. Want to spar after dinner?
I have work to do. Maybe tomorrow.
Aris and Fox left the duel area and headed to the alchemy room.
Aris, we should be seeking the relic. Why are we here?
I tried some sneaking potions yesterday. Let me start new batches. I think we'll need more in upcoming days.
Where do we search? Library?
Aris started concocting new sneaking potions, hands moving with practiced precision.
Library's secret section, her chambers, everywhere she's been.
You know you've come a long way. Start of the semester you were gonna pee your pants standing in the hall waiting for Lyra.
Aris nodded, a faint smile crossing his face, and made some more potions. He'd given a rest to blood potions now that he had 12 of each at Tier 2. For Tier 3, trying and experiments would have to wait. He had to find ways to bring Lyra back first. At midnight, Aris downed a sneak potion. The liquid tasted like shadows and smoke. He gave a vial to Fox and headed out to the library. When they arrived at the empty corridor, candles flickered, casting dancing shadows. Aris walked up to the door. It was locked, the handle unyielding.
Damn it, I don't know how to lockpick.
Step aside. I can open locks.
What?
You're not the only one with skills. I think they created me as a sneak and open locks pet. And here we are.
Click. The door opened with Fox's claws manipulating the mechanism.
You didn't think I was just a wise companion, right? I have skills.
Fox said, whispering smugly. Aris and Fox started looking through every corner of the library. Shelves upon shelves of books, desks meticulously organized. But there was nothing out of place. Fox opened the locked desk drawers. There were just orders and lists, mundane administrative work. Finally, they headed to the Forbidden section. Forbidden section contained mostly Tier 3 spells and blood-related enhancements. Books are for later, Aris thought. After looking for 2 hours, they couldn't find any hidden thing or section. No loose floorboards, no false walls. On the way out, Aris sighed.
There is nothing. Even if there was anything, Kurgodan and his men should have taken it already.
Tomorrow we should look at her chambers, but we can only enter when she's out. Maybe I can look alone at noon?
Maybe. I'm going to look at the high sections before we go.
When he went to the railed ladder for climbing, he noticed one ladder step was jiggling. Loose. He stopped.
Wait, didn't Lyra make this? This is jiggling.
He started unscrewing the step. It revealed a stuffed paper inside the hollow rung.
I found something.
He took the paper carefully, screwed the ladder step back into place.
Come on, drop the step. Who cares?
Right? Fox hissed.
Kurgodan cares.
Aris whispered back. They left the library silently, sneaking through shadows. Once back in their room, Aris unfolded the paper with trembling hands. The handwriting was unmistakably Lyra's. Sharp, precise, sarcastic, even in written form. Hey, twin idiots. If you reach this, maybe you're not that idiotic. Anyway, Kurgodan is highly suspicious. If that Lex de Souza didn't attack at the Covenant Summit, there would be no reason to go after me. But I probably was the only suspect going in and out of the palace. Anyway, I am transferring my memories of us, the infiltration me being an engineer to a memory stone. But unfortunately, my relic, you call it, is actually called a key, and without the lock, I can't use that alone to remember. So, leave me here. Don't try to hit my head to remember. I'm sure Kurgodan will do that many times. In fact, run from here and live your lives. I will use the key to extract my memories at the building in the Academy Seminar. P.S. The lock is like an ashtray that the key sits on top of, just so if you find it. Below, she'd sketched the lock. A square device with intricate grooves in the middle where Sphere can sit. Aris stared at the paper for a long moment. His hands trembled.
She knew. She knew everything that would happen.
And she still chose to protect us?
Fox's voice was quiet.
The Academy Cemetery. That's where her memories are.
That's also where they bury the dangerous dead. The ones they don't want walking again.
Then we go tomorrow night.
Giga or Massier. So Jeans and Bramish.
I'm not leaving her like this, Fox. She didn't leave us.
Fox sighed but nodded.
Fine. But we do this smart. No rushing in.
Aris folded the paper carefully and tucked it into his tunic. Tomorrow night, they would find the lock. They would restore Lyra, or die trying.